Welcome to 7th grade math. Here are answers to the homework. Get ready for the lesson. The table shows the approximate weights in tons of several large land animals. 1 ton is equivalent to 2,000 pounds. You can use a ratio table, which have columns filled with ratios that have the same value to convert each weight from tons to pounds. So, copy and complete the ratio table. The first two ratios are done for you. So 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. 4 ton is 8,000 pounds. To produce equivalent ratios, multiply the quantities in each row by the same number. So for the first one, it was 1 times 4 is 4. 2,000 times 4 is 8,000. 5 times 1 is 5. So 5 times 2,000 is 10,000. And then 8 times 1 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16,000. Then graph the ordered pairs, tons and pounds, from the table. Label the horizontal axis weight in tons and the vertical axis weight in pounds, and connect the points. What do you notice about the graph of these points? So if we graph those, what do you notice? The points are in a straight line. So every time we go over to the right one, we go up one. The relationships among the most commonly used customary units of length, weight, and capacity are shown in the table below. Type of measurement, length. The larger unit is a foot, and the smaller unit equivalent is 12 inches. A yard equals 3 feet, and 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Weight, 1 pound equals 16 ounces. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Capacity, 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 quart equals 2 pints. And 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. To convert a measurement to a smaller unit, multiply. To convert a measurement to a larger unit, divide. Each of the units in the previous table can be written as a unit ratio. A unit ratio, like a unit rate, has a denominator of 1. So 3 feet to 1 yard, 2,000 pounds to 1 ton, 4 quarts to 1 gallon. Notice the numerator and denominator of each fraction above are equivalent, so the value of each ratio is 1. 3 feet to a yard, 3 feet to a yard, 1 yard to a yard. You can multiply by a unit rate of this type to convert or change from larger units to smaller units. Examples: convert larger units to smaller units. Convert 20 feet into inches. Since 1 foot equals 12 inches, the unit ratio is 12 inches per foot. 20 feet, we're going to multiply by 12 inches per foot. So we get 20 foot equals 12 inches over 1 foot, and we will divide out the common units of feet, and then we get 20 times 12 inches equals 240 inches. Gardening, Clarence mixes a quarter cup of fertilizer with soil before planting each bulb. How many ounces of fertilizer does he use per bulb? We have a quarter cup, and since 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces, multiply 8 fluid ounces by 1 cup. Multiply by 8 fluid ounces over 1 cup. So we have a quarter cup times 8 fluid ounces over 1 cup. And we know we can divide out the common units. And that leaves us with 1/4 times 8 fluid ounces over 1. So if we multiply, we get 8 over 4, which simplifies to 2. 36 yards equals how many feet? Since 1 yard equals 3 feet, the unit ratio is 3 feet over 1 yard. So 36 yards times 3 feet over 1 yard. And if we cancel out the common units, we get 36 times 3 feet. And if we multiply, we get 108 feet. 3/4 tons equals how many pounds? Since 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds, the unit ratio is 2,000 pounds over 1 ton. So we get 3/4 ton times 2,000 pounds over 1 ton. We cancel out the common units. We get 3/4 times 2,000 pounds. And if we multiply, we'll get 6,000 pounds over 4, which we can simplify to 1,500 pounds. 1.5 quarts equals how many pints? Since 1 quart equals 2 pints, the unit ratio is 2 pints over 1 quart. So we'll do 1.5 quarts, multiply times 2 pints over 1 quart. We'll cancel out the common units. So we get 1.5 times 2. And if we multiply that, remember we have to convert 1.5 to an improper fraction. And we get 3 over 2, which would be 6 over 2, which would simplify to 3. So 3 pints. To convert a measurement to a larger unit, divide. To divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. To convert from smaller units to larger units, multiply by the reciprocal of the appropriate unit ratio. Examples: convert smaller units to larger units. Convert 15 quarts into gallons. So since 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, the unit ratio is 4 quarts to gallons, and its reciprocal is 1 gallon over 4 quarts. So if we have 15 quarts, we have 15 quarts divided by 4 quarts over a gallon. So we're going to convert a measurement to a larger unit and then divide. So multiply by the reciprocal, 15 quarts times 1 gallon over 4 quarts. If we divide out the common units, quarts, we get 15 times 1/4 gallons. And if we multiply 15 by a quarter, it's the same as dividing 15 by 4. So we get 15 divided by 4 gallons, or 15/4 of gallons. So we get 3.75 gallons because 15 over 4 is the same as 15 divided by 4. To convert a measurement to a larger unit, divide. To divide fractions, multiply by the reciprocal. And to convert from smaller units to larger units, multiply by the reciprocal of the appropriate unit ratio. Convert smaller units to larger units. So Yumika needs 4.5 feet of fabric to make a costume for a play. How many yards of fabric does she need? Since 1 yard equals 3 feet, the unit ratio is 3 feet per 1 yard, and its reciprocal is 1 yard over 3 feet. 4.5 feet equals 4.5 feet divided by 3 feet over 1 yard. So to convert a measurement to a larger unit, divide and multiply the reciprocal, and then divide out the common units. So remember, we can't divide fractions, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And we get rid of feet, so we have 4.5 times 1 yard over 3. And if we convert the mixed number to an improper fraction, we get 9 over 2 times 1/3 yards. And if we simplify, we get 3 over 2 times 1 over 1, which we know is the identity property of multiplication. So that's 3 over 2. And we get 1.5 yards when we convert it to a mixed number. Check your progress. 2,640 feet equals how many miles? Well, since 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, the unit ratio is 5,280 feet, and its reciprocal is 1 mile over 5,280 feet. So we're going to multiply 2,000, we're going to divide 2,640 feet by 5,280 over a mile. and we're going to convert a measurement to a large unit. We'll divide. So in order to divide fractions, we're actually going to multiply by the reciprocal. So 2,640 feet times 1 over 5,280. And now we will divide out the common units of feet. And we will multiply 2,640 times 1 over 5,280. And if we simplify that, we get 1/2 mile. Check your progress. Convert smaller units to larger units. 5 pints equals how many quarts? Since 1 quart equals 2 pints, the unit ratio is 2 pints over 1 quart. And its reciprocal is 1 quart over 2 pints. So we have 5 pints equals 5 pints divided by 2 pints over 1 quart. So we're going to convert this. To convert to a larger unit, we need to divide. So we can't divide fractions, or we divide fractions by multiplying times the reciprocal. So 5 pints times 1 quart over 2 pints. 5 pints times 1 quart over 2 pints. Divide out common units, which is pints. And then we will multiply, or simplify then multiply, but we cannot simplify 5 and 1/2. So we'll multiply 5 times 1/2. We'll get 5 over 2, 5/2 quarts. And we'll rename as an improper fraction, which is 2.5 quarts. 100 ounces equals how many pounds? So since 1 pound equals 16 ounces, the unit ratio is 16 ounces per pound, and its reciprocal is 1 pound over 16 ounces. So we have 100 ounces divided by 16 ounces over a pound. So we're going to convert to, we're going to divide to make it larger. And we'll multiply by the reciprocal. 100 ounces times 1 pound over 16 ounces. We will divide out common units. And that leaves the desired units of pounds. So if we have 100 times 1/16 pound, we will simplify. 4 goes into 125 times, goes into 16 4 times. We get 25 fourths quarts. And we'll rename that as an improper fraction, and we'll get 6 1/4 quarts. Check your progress. 76 cups equals how many gallons? Since 1 gallon equals 16 cups, the unit ratio is 16 cups per gallon, and its reciprocal is 1 gallon over 16 cups. So 76 cups divided by 16 cups over 1 gallon. In order to divide fractions, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So we will get 76 cups times 1 gallon over 16 cups. We will simplify out the cups to get 76 times 1 gallon over 16. And if we multiply that out, or actually if we simplify, we get 19 and 4. Because 4 will go into 76 19 times, 4 will go into 16 4 times. If we multiply it out, we get 19 over 4. And we'll rename that as a proper fraction of 4 3/4 gallons. 3 cups equals how many pints? Since 1 pint equals 2 cups, the unit ratio is 2 cups over 1 pint, and its reciprocal is 1 pint over 2 cups. 3 cups divided by 2 cups over a pint. We will, in order to divide, we'll multiply by the reciprocal, and we will cancel out the cups. And that leaves us with 3 times 1 over 2. And if we multiply that out, we get 3 halves, and then we convert to the improper fraction of 1 1/2. 18 inches equals how many feet? Since 1 foot equals 12 inches, the unit ratio is 12 inches per foot, and its reciprocal is 1 foot over 12 inches. 18 inches divided by 12 inches over a foot. And in order to divide, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. And then we will cancel out the inches, and we get 18 times 1 over 12. And if we simplify, we get 18 divided by 6 is 3. 12 divided by 6 is 2. We get 3 halves feet. And we can convert that to a mixed numbers. We get 1 1/2 feet. A 3-pound pork loin can be cut into 10 smaller pork chops of equal weight. How many ounces does each pork chop weigh? So if there are 16 ounces in a pound, we'll multiply 3 pounds times 16 ounces to get 48 ounces. Now we have to divide 48 ounces by 10 cuts of smaller pork chops. So we put 48 over 10, and we will get a unit rate of 4.8 to 1. So each cut is 4.8 ounces. A helicopter flies at a rate of 158 miles per hour. How many miles per second is this? Since 1 hour has 3,600 seconds, which is 60 seconds times 60 minutes, multiplied by 1 hour over 3,600 seconds. So 60 minutes times 60 seconds equals 3,600 seconds per hour. We have 158 miles per hour, miles over hour. So we get 158 miles per hour times 1 hour over 3,600 seconds. Divide out common units, so we get rid of the hours. And then we multiply 158 over 3,600. And if we simplify that, we get 0.04 miles per 1 second. So a helicopter flies at approximately 4 miles per second. There is your homework. Have a great night, and I'll see you in class.